Hey, welcome everyone to the Wccf Talks Gaming podcast. This is Keith, your host. We got Alessio, Dave, and Chris. Everybody say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Guten Abend. I have a chalice.
Hey, look, this week it's pretty straightforward what we're going to be talking about, the title and everything. In fact, if you've been following along with gaming news for the past week, then you'll probably already know that we're here to talk today primarily about the Sony PlayStation 5. It seems to be that's kind of the hot topic here for the past few weeks. As we got started with this, as we got started with this, PlayStation 5 has been the upcoming thing, and well, they finally showed it off. We've been talking about how they haven't.
I thought we were going to
anything.
talk about the KFC console.
Oh no, we'll get to that one next week. Maybe if we have time today, we'll definitely put that on the dock for a future episode. Very important, crispy, fried goodness that I can no longer have. But today we're going to kick things off with the PlayStation 5 and the reveal. Alessio, give us some background for the audience that may have missed this past week. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah, well, there was the much anticipated PlayStation 5 reveal event at last. It was delayed because of everything that's been going on, in the United States. And at last, we've had this showcase last Thursday, and it was quite good, I think, overall. And there were a lot of interesting games, both from first party, second party, and multi-platform games. And perhaps most interestingly, it was the reveal of the hardware itself, because this is the first look we've ever had at the retail console. We had a leak of the dev kit, but of course the retail unit looks a lot different, and it looks, I think it looks quite stylish, and I like it overall for the design.
Alien stuff, alien technology.
It looks, I like the color design as well. Of course, it is quite a bit taller than possibly anyone anticipated. But, other than that, I like it, especially the digital edition, which is also a bit slimmer because it lacks the drive, And it will be interesting to see how much cheaper this digital edition is, because personally I'll certainly take that one, since I've not used physical games in quite a while. So
I can't honestly imagine it being too cheaper though, because a Blu-ray drive doesn't really. 5 years ago, maybe it will knock a lot off, but now the price is, we don't even know what the price is yet, though.
4K Blu-ray drive, though, Chris. 4K Blu-ray drive.
Yeah,
I also reckon that Sony will be willing to take a hit on profits on the digital-only system, just because they know that long term they're not going to be losing out anything on potential pre-owned titles.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, they make more on digital games than they make on physical games. Right?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, Dave, with the fact that there will be no used market for the digital only one.
So yeah, I think it could be between $50 but up to $100 cheaper, maybe.
I was thinking around 50 probably 50 to 80. I was thinking.
So what's everybody's thoughts on the look? So Alessio said he likes it so far. You fairly positive on the appearance, the aesthetics of the whole setup. What about you other guys? What do y'all think?
I like it. Like I said, it's just alien technology now. It just looks like something from, I don't know, First Contact or God knows what else. But it looks good compared to the competition. Now, well, as we know, the new Xbox can be characteristically described as a black box. Hello, a black box. Yeah, it's a mini fridge. It's a black box. I'd rather have the KFC console. That looks better, and it also cooks your chicken.
Okay. This one, in regards to aesthetics, I actually can't believe I'm going to say this. I actually think I prefer the Series X, because I'm just looking at my setup right now, and I think to myself, what would blend the most seamlessly? The Series X is the absolute choice. In fairness, though, I actually don't hate the PS5 design. I got to admit, when I saw it, I was like, this is pretty dumb. And that feeling hasn't really faded. However, I am positive after a couple of months of it being on the shelf, I'll forget, you know? It's like when you first heard the name Wii, you know, like after a while, it loses the novelty. It's just fine. However, I do have a mild
get rid of Revolution.
I do have a mild concern because where my PS4 Pro stands now is like the only place I think I could reasonably fit a PS5, and I genuinely think that height difference is gonna cut it close for me. Like,
that thing is huge.
I think I'm fortunate in the fact that my PS4 is stood like literally at the side of my monitor. Here, it's like everything's just in a corner. So
I have it stood next to my TV, but there's like a shelf over it. But it has like 4 inches of clearance. But from the pictures, I really don't know if that's enough.
It's a double-decker bus.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at like the size comparisons, and I use
the height?
In my living room, I've got the Xbox One S that's in the little cubby hole, but sitting on top of my little entertainment center under the television, I've got a Fractal Design Node 202, like just full PC case, and it actually looks like the Node may be smaller.
Oh, geez.
So the PS5 height is 15 3/4 inches. The PS4 Pro height is 12.9 inches. So you might just get away with it, Dave.
Yeah,
Sorry, 15 3/4.
You know what?
Yes.
I looked at the dimensions. that is bigger than my Node 202 system. That I've got a Ryzen 5 3600 and a GTX an RTX 2070.
Yeah, I genuinely just got out a tape measure. I think I've got a half an inch, maybe. I've got like a half an inch spare. This is what it's coming down to.
These things are getting big. And like I said, the fact that my Node 202 is actually smaller, and that's a pretty good size system. I mean, it's a small ITX system, but...
Yeah, I get the feeling, though, like with the PS5, there's the hardware increases, as you get more power in there. A lot of the space has gone down to cooling. That's what I genuinely think.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, I think the big thing about both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X is that I think it's pretty clear they've been designed first and foremost to make a great cooling system so that they can actually keep the hardware cool and
especially as games utilize even more.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so nobody's going to mistake in the systems. That's for certain.
Yeah.
Wait, which one's the big one again?
the PlayStation 5.
Okay.
Well, now hold on. See, the PlayStation 5 is tall and skinny, and the Xbox Series X is short and fat.
Yeah.
So I've got the measurements here. The Xbox Series X, it's 11.85 inches in height. And then it's literally a box otherwise than that. Length is 6.03 inches. Width is 6.03. It's like, so it's actually thinner than the PS5, but the length, so I don't know, whatever the length and width is, it's just a rectangle.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's that would fit somewhere in my entertainment center pretty much easily, to be honest.
Yeah, same here. But you know what? You know what the best part about all this is it's actually
games.
The games. they showed off a lot of games. What was it? Almost 30 or more games that they showed off of. We had to narrow our list down. Otherwise, we'd be here for an hour just going through a list and be like, this game and it does this. But the biggest, baddest, boldest move these guys did, no joke, is we've got a 7-year-old game getting revitalized. Woo! We have GTA 5 again.
Hell yes.
Enhanced.
I was disappointed. No Skyrim.
Casino.
No Skyrim.
You know what? You said it, Chris. It's the funniest thing because no joke, when they did they started the whole thing off with GTA 5, and I get that it's like one of the most played games. Period,
I did think that was a piss take,
but it was like I thought it was a joke because I thought, oh, this is how they're going to roll into GTA 6. Nope, it really was GTA 5. And after that, I was like, surely Skyrim Super PlayStation 5 Enhanced Edition is coming soon, where they actually give you 60 FPS on a console for an Elder Scrolls game. But no, GTA.
Kit. It's GTA 5 is like the best-selling game of all time, right? So it's
The best-selling everything of all time.
so
No
it's
film, TV show, anything.
While I share Chris' disappointment in a bit, in that
I was disappointed. There's no Skyrim. If you're going to take the piss, you might as well bring Skyrim back as well.
But it's understandable that Rockstar would want it, still be kicking on the PS5 and the new Xbox as well. So
I totally get that. I do. It seemed like such a weird start to the whole showcase.
It's essentially going to be the PC version of GTA Online, isn't it? It's literally the PC version. They're just moving they're going to copy the PC version over.
I don't know. I think it will be interesting if they actually really, took advantage of the new consoles, because actually, I don't know if you know, but GTA 5 was never updated to take advantage of the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X.
Oh yeah,
so
I understand that.
Basically, it will be the first time for console users to actually play the game at hopefully 60 frames per second.
Oh yeah, I understand that. That's what I mean, though. It's literally just going to be. Well, it'll not be the PC version because the new consoles cannot run games to the level of a good gaming PC.
And
it'll just be closer.
If you look at on PC, for example, with the reshade ray tracing shader, there is already videos out there of the game running with ray tracing. Maybe they will add ray tracing by default, with the consoles.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely potential for GTA 5 to, be truly enhanced with the power of the new consoles. However, at the end of the day, I had a big old belly laugh when I saw that come up on the screen. And I was watching it with my girlfriend, and when she saw Rockstar logo flash up, she was like, "Oh my god, Rockstar already?" And then like 5 seconds later, she's like, "Wait, this is just GTA 5
again."
And
I say we'll not see GTA 6 for another 3 or 4 years.
I think that was everyone's impression, right? Everyone's impression was like, "This is just GTA 5."
Yeah.
If I wasn't at work when I was watching, if I wasn't at work and if I was watching that video live, I'd have just been shouting at my screen going, Todd Howard, you've missed the opportunity. Skyrim.
Right.
I'm disappointed in Bethesda.
All right.
Anyway, I think that's the end of the show now.
Yeah, let's get away from GTA 5.
Oh, that's the end. We've talked about everything that matters.
Good night, folks.
Yeah, but no, when it comes to other games, I think we've all got a list of the ones that we're looking forward to. Everybody's aware of the ones that's getting me giddy. Ratchet and Clank! I love Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
All our private we all know we've been having conversations in team chats, and all along I've been saying the new game that's going to be announced is Ratchet and Clank. I've been saying that for months. I know I'm very much like a prophet, but yes. I'm also looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Forbidden West, not Zero Dawn. I loved Horizon. Another one, yes, anytime.
I'm looking forward to it on PC. Can somebody give me a release date? I know it's summer. We are so close to summer.
Well, they are bundled it. They are bundling it with the AMD Ryzen's processor.
So it's got a Ryzen processor.
Yeah, but the point is,
buy me one.
The point is if they are bundling it, it's coming soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know it's coming soon. They said it was going to be released this summer, but still no actual release date at
maybe
this point.
July or something like that.
22nd.
But
give it to me on my birthday.
Okay. So about Ratchet and Clank, it was. It's interesting because it actually may be one of the most interesting showcases of the PS5's SSD, because the actual game is about jumping between dimensions. Like all the time. So the point is, with the SSD, you can do that without having to reload the entire world map and stuff like that. So it's
It's Ratchet and Clank. I'm really looking forward to it, and it is Insomniac again, isn't it? So it's
Insomniac's on fire right now.
The series is fantastic. The Ratchet and Clank, it had a dip. The first few games, brilliant. They had a slight dip. Then they came back to it. They got the reimagining. The film came out. I even enjoyed the film. And then with Stallone in, of all people. And then you've got this, and it's just like I'm so excited for it because it's just fun. It's what video games should be, fun.
I got to admit, I don't care for the series at all. And personally, I think it looks a lot like a tech demo, frankly, because I feel like the dimensional mechanics and stuff are really cool, but also feels like an explicit use of the hardware, not particularly like an amazing gameplay innovation. Despite that, though, I think it looks really cool. I think it'll be really interesting when it comes out.
Yeah.
You know? But Keith is right about Insomniac being on fire.
It's a little weird one because, like, I don't know if you know the older ones. Like, they've Ratchet and Clank said it's not been like different dimensions, but where they've had different little where it starts to move around in Crack in Time and games like that. It wasn't different dimensions, but they've played with this sort of thing before. It's just never had the technology to back it up.
Yeah. And well, speaking of Insomniac games and such, and the SSD and moving it in, we've talked in the past about Spider-Man and how they've even used Spider-Man as like an example of how it is. But I mean, they finally announced the new Spider-Man Miles Morales. And there was a lot of confusion whether that was an expansion or if it was its own game. But it's in the end, it is its own game. Am I right in that?
Yeah, it's spin-off, isn't it?
Well, it's spin-off, but it's its own standalone.
It's a standalone game,
Yeah, so, standalone spin-off.
But, I don't think it will be as long as the 2018 game because it will be nuts, honestly, because they've been working on the DLCs for Spider-Man as well after the game was released, and they've been working on Ratchet and Clank and this one, so it will be kind of insane if they produce 2 games in 2 years and they were both full size. I think it's going to be more like 10 hours long, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking 10 or 15 hours with a lot of asset and area reuse.
I have to wonder though how much of I imagine Insomniac Games has grown quite a bit in the recent times, especially after the acquisition by Sony. So yeah, as you say, probably about 10 to 15 hours. It won't be as long, but I think it's going to feel like still a full good game.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare to.
I was mentioning that interestingly, by introducing Miles, I mean, of course, the ending of the first game, for those who've played it kind of already spoiled it because Miles was bitten by a spider, just like good old Peter Parker. And but the interesting thing is where do they go from there? Because I think after Miles Morales, they could also introduce something like Spider-Gwen and make like a Spider-Verse.
That I was just going to say that if anybody's watched it, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse film released a few years back, fantastic film. That's where I imagine they'll go. They can make so many little spin-offs with all the different spiders.
Yeah, even Venom.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be fun. So Dave, what was the big thing for you? What was the thing that got you up?
It was Demon's Souls. It was Demon's Souls. I mean, like we've had like leaks and rumors from Jason Schreier and a bunch of other people that like Demon's Souls is being done by Blue Point. But it felt so good to get that confirmation, that PS5 confirmation. The trailer looked great, and the screenshots look even better, which is absurd. There's a few comparisons that people have made online now, and it's fantastic looking. Oh my god,
it really does.
It looks incredible. I gotta tell you, like When the trailer started, at first I was like, "This is the Horizon sequel," and then I saw like the dead guy being like carried in the sky, and I was like, "Oh no, they're doing it!" And I might have screamed.
You might have screamed.
You know,
Have you played the original Demon Souls?
Yeah, I played it, but I played it after playing Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
So going back to it after that, it was very hard to adjust to, and I gotta tell you, there's a lot of stuff in that game which is kind of jank in the modern day. I don't like the using the crescent moon grass to heal and stuff.
The fact that each area is sort of segmented off from the hub instead of interconnected.
Absolutely, and also the world tendency stuff. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that can be done with that game outside of graphics, which can be improved, and I'm excited for that.
I do hope they keep somewhat.
I was actually thinking I would like a rebalance mode, which actually like for example, magic is known to be broken in Demon Souls. Like they could actually make that normal and viable, and then they could also add like a completely classic mode where it's just Demon Souls but looks better. You know?
Yeah.
Well, they definitely did a better job showing that than the game Godfall.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
When I saw Godfall, that, not to rip on Ubisoft or anything for that, but they're the ones that publish that, right?
No, it's actually it's 2K and Gearbox, right?
Gearbox,
is it Gearbox? Is it? But I thought it was Kingdoms of Amalur, the remaster. When I first saw it,
it does have a similar aesthetic.
It looked like that, but then it looked like it was playing like a Souls game, and then it just generally didn't look that great. Maybe by the time it comes out,
not a good match.
No, like nothing. It felt that was like probably one of the clumsiest reveals through the whole thing, because you started going, "What am I looking at?" Like everything else had a very unique look to it. Like there was a big variety in the games that I saw. Like, and then if you saw something that looked familiar and you thought it was something, it was what you thought it was.
A sequel or a remake,
Yeah, like with Demon Souls, you thought and you're like, wait, is that? And then it was, so you get excited. But then you see like Godfall and you're like, is that, or is it what is this? I don't know.
Well, I think it's maybe not the most original aesthetic, although I like it personally. But actually, there was a new trailer, a longer trailer they showcased on the PC Gaming Show, and
the gameplay trailer.
I think it gave a better look at the game.
It did. It did not look like the same thing you saw at the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It looked like a very different, more action oriented.
I get the feeling that I still won't prefer it compared to games like Surge that have managed to create their own like unique look, where this is still very much just fantasy Souls.
Yeah, but I love fantasy, so people like like
now there was one that got me super excited, and then I got super reserved, and then I'm at the point where I'm like, I'll be getting it when it comes out, and I'll make my judgment afterwards. That's actually Resident Evil Village. When it first came up, okay, so I loved Resident Evil 7. Like me and my wife played it together because we were both chickens, and we absolutely loved it. I will never play that in PSVR.
Yeah,
because I will die by tripping over wires while running. But the first person view works so well in Resident Evil 7 for me. The problem that I have with it is that it has so much Resident Evil 4 vibes, and while I know that people love Resident Evil 4, I did not.
Resident Evil 4 rocks.
I did not like Resident Evil 4, and I'll tell you why. It didn't. The lack of it did not feel like it was a fun game, but it did not feel like a Resident Evil game.
No, we can't have Resident Evil 4 slander on the podcast. This is like episode.
It's too late now. It's too late.
Episode 4. We can't have Resident Evil slander.
We'll have to have this. We'll have to have this as our future argument topic.
Look, the game is fine. It is a fine game. but I did not feel like it. You could take that one out of all of the Resident Evil lore and nothing changes.
So what?
No.
They have to be all set in Raccoon City.
No,
Well,
they don't have to
suppose
be
you
set
could
in
have-
Raccoon City.
You could have
just-
set them in Cocoon City, as long as it's got...
No, like I actually liked 5 and 6 as far as like the storyline went with the whole Resident Evil lore, but 4 just felt so out of place.
No, you can't.
I didn't like
do this
it.
to me.
I didn't like it.
No,
Well,
no.
The thing about 8 that gets me is the werewolves. I'm interested to see how the werewolves are something other than just straight supernatural.
Yeah, because how can you link in the T-virus to the werewolves?
You know, the interesting thing, from a lore standpoint is also why Chris is turning evil, right?
Mm-hmm. Now,
hey, whoa! I'm not turning evil. I've always been evil.
Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil Village 8, however you want to call it, it may make me appreciate 4 even more.
Yeah.
So that's why. Different. Yeah, and like I said, I played 4. I bought it on like everything that I had. I played it. Mm. But as far as like all of the Resident Evil games that I've played through, I've liked it the least. And I know how blasphemous that is.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't hate your opinion, but I'm mad.
He does. Yeah, he's going to kill you, Keith.
It's weird because I actually kind of have the opposite opinion to Keith because I'm like the biggest Resi 4 fan ever, and I wasn't crazy about Resi 7.
There's a lot of people that think that are that
but
way.
despite both of that, I am super hyped for 8. I think
I'm just thinking,
amazing.
like, this is definitely a good topic for the little debate thing we can do another time. All I think about it is like I understand your argument when it comes to the whole narrative, the general story, the plot of Resident Evil as a series, but at the same time, I start to think, who cares? Because they've sort of gone over everything and rehashed everything so much with Resident Evil. There is no real.
Yeah,
it doesn't link together anymore. It's just a series of horror games.
It's like a bit like Assassin's Creed, right? I mean, the overall.
Yeah, they broke that series.
Current timeline thing. So
After 3, just give it up.
In reality, you could set Resident Evil on the moon and nobody'd really give a damn.
Oh, they should do that.
But Dave, there is also a new game from Luminous Productions.
Oh yeah, boy!
Yeah, boy!
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Project Athia is a thing because I actually was entirely convinced that Luminous Studios were dead. I genuinely thought that after Square Enix messed up Final Fantasy 15 so bad, and given that they moved on to Unreal Engine 4 for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 7 remake after that, I was thinking, that's it. Luminous is dead. They're going to completely abandon it. And then this comes out. It's running the Luminous engine still. I'm amazed, and it actually looks good.
Yeah.
See, I've got to disagree. I don't think they're massively messed up Final Fantasy 15. It was a good game. It was better than 13.
Yeah,
okay.
But it was
but
not
then again, that's not
time.
exactly a challenge. Yeah, it's not. I enjoyed 15. I really did enjoy 15. But it's the story and the characters that made me enjoy 15. And to be fair, I did enjoy the combat as well. So I don't know.
I liked it.
Did you know that if you're an English language speaker that only buys official material, you still don't actually know the full story of Final Fantasy 15? There is a novel being released this year, and you have to read the novel to get the full context.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. Square Enix massively messed up the 15 as a series. You shouldn't need to watch a film, Kingsglaive, before playing the game to understand that. You should, but this has been my complaint of other series. When people massive tangent, but Halo, people go on about how Halo's got such a massive, great story, massive, great narrative.
It has
the
lore.
Games. The lore. The games are absolutely shocking. They've got crap stories. I don't care what anybody says. People say, "Oh, well, you need to read this book. You need to read this novel. You need to read this. Watch this. Watch this." No, I want to play a game and enjoy the game story. I don't need to read everything else in the world.
Let me defend Halo real quick in the sense that the remakes, the ones they did, the enhancements, whatever, they went back and actually added in all of those missing story elements.
Yeah,
Now,
no,
if
yeah,
you
that's
go, if
fair,
you play it
but
that
you
way,
had to go back to add it. I played them when they came out, and
Exactly.
everybody's going out, they're amazing, and I'm just like, they're average.
I'm going to be honest. Until I played the Master Chief collection, I didn't realize there was that much story. I had a friend that would tell me, he's like, "Oh, the lore is so amazing," and he's like read all the books, and I was like, "I don't want to read these books to play a game."
That would always my argument.
Play the game.
That's where Square went wrong. But anyway, massive tangent over. Back to the games that have recently been announced.
Project Athia.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Alessio, what do you think
about Project Athia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looked interesting. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be tethered by Final Fantasy conventions and stuff like that. Maybe they can do something entirely new.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And something about Project Athia that's also true for a few other games is that it's a PlayStation 5 console exclusive, and that's also true for Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, which are two Bethesda published games, which is kind of surprising to me. What do you think? It's
I get the feeling that that's where Sony are going down now, where Microsoft are trying to expand everything to the PC. Sony are going to focus on getting the console market through exclusives, where Microsoft are just going to be inclusive and try and grab as much as the PC as they can.
Yeah, but it can't have been cheap, I think, to buy those off Bethesda. And actually, the Sony executive said that it didn't say specifically which games, but of the 10 or so games that were confirmed to be PlayStation 5 console exclusive at launch, he said some will be a few months exclusives, but others will be up to 2 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
which is
I imagine Athia is going to be one of those, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
it's interesting to see. Yeah, sorry, Kit. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just running out of time again. It's we kind of had that happen whenever we get going like that. But
we might need a part 2.
And we may have to come back and have more discussion on this because there is a lot of games and there's a lot going on. And maybe, you know what, if there's no big major news between now and next week, we may just come back and discuss the things that we haven't discussed, as well as some competitive advantages that both consoles may have at this point against each other going in, and what may, we'll discuss public reception of it. Because, I mean, the memes are great. The memes are good.
I stole a meme from Reddit and got 76,000 likes on Twitter. I'm doing it.
There's some really good ones, but I think now that we're starting to get something really concrete out there, we've seen some showcase from Microsoft on their third-party games. We've seen Sony show a mix of first, third-party. They've revealed their console. They're starting to show their hands. We're starting to ramp up this kind of battle that's brewing between these two, and it's going to be really interesting to see what gets separated. Not really what they share, but what is going to separate these two going forward. Because one thing that I've noticed, Sony, they've got their SSD stuff and they've got very similar hardware, but they're not as focused on the hardware as what the Microsoft team is. So, I mean, even through their whole thing, that nobody's really talking about the ray tracing stuff and all of these when it comes to Sony. So, and even in the showcase of the games, very few things outside of the NBA sweat reflections. There really wasn't a whole lot.
Actually, I think Demon's Souls remake, they confirmed it will have ray tracing.
Ooh, very nice. That's why it looks so good.
Like Keith says, though, it's Sony's being all about the games. Literally.
They're not as concerned with selling you on the feature set. They're not checking boxes. They're selling you experiences. And
you're going to love this game. Play this game. You can only play it on PlayStation. There you go. Yeah. That is their push.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think it's going to work well.
the mainstream cares mainly about that. I mean, they don't even know about ray tracing, reflections,
That's the
whatever.
thing.
They
The
just
tech
know if it looks
audience
good
is
or not.
small compared. Yeah, if it looks good, if it's going to be fun, if it plays fun, you've won the audience. They don't give a rat's ass about ray tracing
Yeah.
or anything.
Minecraft. Look at that.
Yeah,
Minecraft is a perfect example of that. GTA 5. We jumped all down it, but I mean the game's been out for 7 years and people are still
play the
piling
hell
on
out
it.
of it.
And
Yeah,
there's nothing special about it anymore as far as graphics go. So they
Yeah.
I'm going to
Kate,
finish my last bit by saying Hitman 3.
See there's
Okay.
so much more to go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
We can talk about it later.
I think there was an indie game that looked really good. It was Kena, Bridge of Spirits. It looks like a Pixar movie almost. The one with the girl.
Yeah, that one looks great.
It does.
Yeah.
You know what? Perhaps if there's no major news next week, guys, we have a discussion on all of the non-AAA stuff. All the indie games, the little guys that got kind of overlooked for the big reveals.
I also need to talk about Evil Genius 2. Yeah, next week.
We barely talked about Horizon and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah,
and also that game
there's
with
lots more.
That game with the weird cat projections.
Oh, Stray! Hell yeah!
See? All right, make a list. We'll get them in there next week.
Yeah.
But as far as go ahead, Alessio.
Sorry, Kate. Yeah, just a little one because actually it's not that little. Because rumor has it from the CNBC actually that AT&T might be willing to sell the Warner Bros. Games unit, and for $4 billion. So it's not a small deal.
No, that's a lot of money.
Apparently, 2K, EA, and Activision are in the bidding war. So maybe just a quick. What do you think about that? Just quickly,
I want more Rocksteady games.
Yes. I'm with Dave.
Anybody's better than Warner Brothers. They're absolute.
Yeah, I want a Mortal Kombat game without microtransactions.
Warner Brothers are dog shit as a publisher. Simple as that.
Yeah.
When it comes to PC, they're just crap. So somebody buy them.
Yeah, they outsource to the lowest bidder to have ports handled. Their QA is absolutely garbage. Right. Get them out of the industry. Let somebody that actually cares take over.
I think we're running out of time now anyway.
I agree with that.
We are, guys. Yeah. But next week, definitely, unless there's anything major going on, next week we'll dig in to any of the games that we missed, and especially the indie titles, because I think that's where a lot of our big, new, fun experiences are really going to come from. Yeah. So for this week, that's it for me. Everybody, say your farewells.
Bye-bye.
I have a chalice.
Oh, Lord.
Cheers.
Later, guys.